You do have a big moment coming up, a big match coming up. Impact's Hard to Kill's coming up in January. It's your second title defense. We're going to talk a little bit about that. How are you feeling overall about, has it set in yet that you're Impact's world champion yet?
Yeah, it sounds like I won it this Saturday. I mean, it was a long road to get to where I'm at, and I think it's well deserved. I've worked my butt off and done a lot of vile things to get to where I'm at. So now that I'm the world champion, I'm enjoying every minute of it. And the plan now is to keep the title on me as long as possible.
As I mentioned, you have a title defense coming up. You know who you're going to be facing. Just got done with quite a challenge before this at Turning Point, but you've made it clear, how you feel kind of about Matt Cardona. What do you feel, going into this as a triple threat? Are you focusing on Matt? Are you looking at it as, are you giving equal attention to W. Morrissey, you feel like?
I'm looking forward to it because I think it's just another opportunity for me to prove to the world why I believe I'm the greatest world champion in all of professional wrestling. Other champions will tell you that it's not fair that they're in this match because they don't have to be pinned to lose and anything goes, and it's like the rules that comes with being a triple threat. But I'm actually looking forward to the moment because I think it's going to add to my legacy as another chance for me to prove to the world why I'm so great. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait till January 8th to prove to the world that how great I am and to retain my title.
You made a lot of the TNA championship when you held it. It was even introduced officially as a sanctioned title, but what does it mean to you, like, since you actually won this title, you pinned the champion, you used the title shot to your advantage? Do you look at having that spotlight in a different way, just because you still were recognized as a world champion in Impact, but does this one, speak a little bit better, more to you, since it's not up for debate which title it is? This one is, the world championship now.
I mean, to answer the question, I never really cared what anybody thought about when I won the TNA Heavyweight World Championship. They both mean a lot to me. I'm one of 4 men who has carried and defended both the TNA World Championship and the Impact World title. And I'm in a small class small company of people who've done that. And that just shows how great I am. And at Hard to Kill, I'm gonna defend my Impact World title, and once again, like I said, show why I'm the greatest world champion in professional wrestling.
You just mentioned that you're in good company. You're in a small group of guys that have done that accomplishment, but it's been well documented. Your NFL career, you're in an exclusive club of former NFL players that have also become a pro wrestling world champion. And I know, it was always, you were a former NFL player that became a wrestler. Do you have any thoughts on, shedding that former football player label, because you are recognized as a professional wrestler first now? Do you have any thoughts on shedding that label, and maybe any advice for, future athletes that want to come in and, enter the world of professional wrestling?
I'm proudful about that, because I feel disrespected when people say that he's an ex-football player who's now wrestling. I just feel like that's a bad. I kind of labeled it as not being good enough. So I kind of wanted to be like, oh, he's a professional wrestler who once was a football player. I think that's more what I'm looking for, and I think I've switched that stigma up because you usually generally don't get a lot of football guys that come in and accomplish some of the stuff that I've done or is as good as I am. And that takes hard work, that takes dedication, that takes like working on your craft daily, and you know what I'm saying, watching other film, and I've done the work, and now I'm getting those praises or the rewards, like you could say. And yeah, I mean the advice I would give to some of the guys who are trying to do what I've done is just be patient and put in the work, and like I know you guys can, and I mean hopefully the same thing happens to you guys.
WWE's getting a lot of attention. They just introduced their NIL program, Next in Line, but that whole contract status is really a big talking point within collegiate sports now in general. Do you feel like something like that maybe would have helped you? Do you feel like maybe wrestling was an interest back then, you didn't know how to get into it, or do you think something like that would have helped you?
I'm a firm believer that I don't know per se if that thing with WWE is going to work, because I'm a firm believer that to be good in wrestling, the first thing you have to have is passion for wrestling. So now you have to ask the question, are some of those guys that I haven't heard anything about it. I don't follow much what other companies do. But to answer your question, I don't know if any of the guys who they just picked up are wrestling fans, because if they're not wrestling fans, then you get into the same problem that I'm talking about, where once the hard work kicks in, if you're not a wrestling fan, you're not going to want to stick around. So, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 8 to 10 years old. So once the hard work started, I knew this was something I wanted to do, because I fell in love with wrestling at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Now, do these guys that they just signed, are they in love with wrestling? Are they fans of wrestling? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Only they would know the answer to that.
Yeah, I think it's very much a wait and see approach. It's just interesting that at the very least, it's another door open for athletes that maybe want to explore it. But you're in a position now as Impact World Champion. You know, you're a veteran of the ring now. You've won the world title. You can help others in the same way that maybe helped you along the way in Ring of Honor and now in Impact Wrestling. We already mentioned you have a title defense coming up, but is there anybody else you want to work with that you think you could help elevate to that next level, and maybe in turn can help you improve as a wrestler yourself?
Honestly, I try to just focus with what's on my plate right now. And on my plate right now is a huge main event at Hard to Kill versus Matt Cardona, aka Mid Cardona, and Will Morrissey. And that's what my focus is. And I mean, are there guys out there who I would like to wrestle? Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of talent out there who I will have great matches with. But right now, I would just rather focus on what I know is a definite in less than a month.
Mm-hmm. And, kind of the reason I mentioned it is you've been open about how EC3 helped you behind the scenes, how you transformed yourself. It wasn't just a storyline. It was a real life change. So, maybe there was something there that, you feel like you can help somebody with. Maybe you see somebody, or maybe you see yourself in somebody else that you're working with now.
I mean, yeah, once I'm given the opportunity to work with a younger guy, yeah, there's a conversation that I would have with whoever that person I deem to be at that time. That's a conversation I'll have with them in private. But as of right now, I'm just tunnel vision focused on Hard to Kill.
Mm-hmm. Hard to Kill is up next. You won the title from Josh Alexander. It was an official match, but you didn't really get a great picture of a full, complete match that you maybe, whether prepare for as a wrestler or a fan prepares for, mentally to watch. But you also just defended your title at Turning Point, like I mentioned. But is there a match maybe in the past year? I'll open up the parameters a little bit. Maybe one that stands out in terms of presenting yourself as an all-around complete wrestler, one that you really feel like represents your, I'm a world championship athlete, and this is the one that I would focus on?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can look at my last few matches. I think I proved that win, loss, or draws. I mean, just look at it. I put together some main event matches. Look at my match against Ichi. Look at my match against Juice Robinson. My match against Kenny Omega, Rich Swann, Eddie this past weekend. I feel like I've been on a great run, a great roll. We're just putting out main event matches. So you could honestly pick anybody at my last few matches, and that answers that question for you.
All right. I'll let you go on a little bit of an easier one. It's December. The holidays are approaching. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Okay, so I want to hear your thoughts about this before I ask this, because I feel like this is the debate, and this drives me crazy. Is Die Hard considered a Christmas movie?
Yes, it is.
No, my God, I'm hanging up on you. No, my goodness. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's an action movie that just happened to be on Christmas Day.
All right. I consider it's a Christmas movie. I won't say it's my favorite Christmas movie. I'll go Home Alone.
But why do you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It's set in the winter. It's at a Christmas party. It's a Christmas movie. Like if you want to.
No.
All right. So here, Batman Returns is not a Christmas movie, even though that one's set at Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie, but I'll say Die Hard is.
No. So okay. So if a producer make a horror film that is around the Christmas holiday, would you deem that horror movie a Christmas movie?
All right. I mean, sometimes, yeah.
No,
you have Nightmare,
right?
The Nightmare Before Christmas. No. That's Halloween and Christmas. I can use that as a counterpoint.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's a good point. Well, to answer your question, Home Alone will probably be my favorite Christmas movie.
All right, fair enough.
I feel like I watch Home Alone every Christmas.
It's a solid choice. I feel like no matter when it's on, people are just like, all right, let's tune in. It's a classic. Yeah. I think eliminating Die Hard, we can agree that Home Alone is number one. Maybe Christmas Vacation number two. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, we agree. We agree there. Everybody can watch Home Alone during the holidays and then get pumped up for Hard to Kill January 8th. Moose defends the title in a triple threat against Matt Cardona and W. Morrissey. And you can catch him every week on Impact Wrestling on Access and Impact Insiders on YouTube. Moose, thanks very much for your time today.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.